Welcome to Edenbuild Company, a place where creativity blooms in every corner and the simplest materials can grow into something extraordinary. Today, we'll take you on a gentle, inspiring journey. One where your hands shape the beauty you see, and your garden becomes a reflection of your imagination. If you enjoy warm, nature-filled moments and ideas that make your space truly yours, you're in the right place. So, settle in, let the ideas flow, and don't forget to subscribe for more heartfelt DIY inspiration. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment with your own garden stories, and if today's project brings a smile to your day, give it a like so more creators can find us. Now, let's begin building beauty, one little idea at a time. Victorian Glow Bottle Lantern Path. There's a certain magic that comes alive when daylight fades and the garden begins to glow. Imagine stepping into a gentle evening, where each footstep along a cobblestone path is guided by the warm embrace of handmade light. These Victorian glow bottle lanterns are more than just decoration. They are whispers from another time, crafted with care from the humblest of materials. It begins with a clear plastic bottle, the kind most people might toss away without a thought. In your hands it becomes a canvas. You trace delicate blooms in soft pinks and golds, sketching a gentleman in a top hat and a lady in a flowing gown, forever captured mid-dance. Each brushstroke feels like a quiet promise, to slow down, to savor, to see beauty where others see waste. Hung on twine from a rustic pergola or the low branches of a tree, the lanterns sway gently with the evening breeze. Inside, a simple LED light flickers, mimicking the tender flame of candlelight. It spills across stepping stones, brushing the garden in shades of honey and amber. Roses bow slightly under its warmth, their scent mingling with the cool air of night. You walk slower here. The world beyond the garden fades, replaced by the soft music of crickets and the gentle glow of your own creation. Guests pause and smile, drawn into the romance of it all. They ask where you bought them, and you smile, because this beauty wasn't bought, it was made. With patience, with love, and with a belief that even something as ordinary as a bottle can guide you home through the sweetest of nights. Floating ocean jellyfish bottle decor. On a quiet summer afternoon, the garden feels as though it's holding its breath. Then, a breeze stirs, and they begin to dance. Dozens of jellyfish, floating effortlessly above the blooms. They are not born from the sea, but from something far more ordinary. Discarded plastic bottles, given a second life with a splash of paint and a touch of imagination. Their translucent bodies catch the light, painted in soft pastels that shimmer when the sun kisses them. Some wear gentle blues like ocean waves, others blush in the pinks of a fading sunset. Long ribbons trail beneath them, curling and swaying like tentacles drifting through invisible currents. Each one wears a smile, a simple, sweet face that makes you smile back without thinking. Beneath their gentle parade sits a white rocking chair, its paint chipped from years of stories and teacups resting on the armrest. Around it, flower beds burst with pansies, marigolds and petunias, their colors dancing alongside the jellyfish in the wind. The air is warm, but the scene feels like a cool, refreshing splash. As you sit and watch, time slows. The garden becomes a different world. Half sea, half land, entirely magic. Neighbors pause at the fence, caught by surprise at the floating creatures. They ask how it's done, and you tell them it's simple. A bottle, some ribbon, a bit of paint, and a willingness to see beauty in what's forgotten. When evening comes, small lights hidden inside the jellyfish begin to glow. They hover like ocean lanterns, turning the garden into a whimsical underwater dreamscape, right here on dry land. And you know in that moment, that sometimes the most enchanting journeys don't begin far away. They begin right in your backyard. Urban graffiti vertical bottle garden. In the heart of the city, where brick and concrete dominate the skyline, a wall blooms with unexpected life. At first glance, it's a burst of color. Sprays of neon pink, electric blue, and vivid yellow exploding across a row of recycled bottles. Step closer, and the details emerge. Swirling graffiti tags, playful emoji faces, and tiny plants spilling from each bottle's opening. It's not just a garden. It's a conversation between street art and nature. This is the urban graffiti vertical bottle garden, where discarded plastic becomes a canvas, and city walls become green. The bottles, once forgotten and destined for the landfill, now cradle basil, mint, and trailing petunias. Their colors are bold, unapologetic, like the city itself. Each plant finds its place between painted strokes, softening the grit with leaves and blooms. The sunlight hits just right in the late afternoon, bouncing off the glossy spray paint and casting playful shadows of leaves against the wall. Passers-by stop, drawn in by the strange beauty, a fusion of rebellion and renewal. They see street art, but they also smell fresh herbs. They see graffiti, but they also see growth. Creating it is simpler than it seems. A few bottles, some soil, seeds and paint, and suddenly an ordinary fence becomes a living art piece. The act itself feels liberating. No rules, just expression and life intertwining. In a space where nature often struggles to find a foothold, this garden thrives in vertical defiance. At night, string lights weave between the bottles, and the colors seem to hum against the darkness. It's a reminder that beauty in the city isn't just found in grand parks or glass towers. Sometimes, it's right here on a wall, where art and green life share the same heartbeat. Storybook Gnome Bottle Garden. In a quiet corner of the garden, where rosemary brushes against mint and the air smells faintly of earth, small figures stand watch. They are bottle gnomes, each one with a face as cheerful as a summer morning, each topped with a bright mushroom cap that looks plucked from the pages of a fairy tale. They don't speak, but their presence is warm, like old friends you've known forever. These gnomes began life as ordinary plastic bottles, once empty and forgotten. With a little paint, some imagination, and an afternoon of crafting, they've become characters with stories of their own. One has a mischievous grin, his hat painted deep red with white polka dots. Another wears a serene smile beneath a sky blue cap. Together, they turn a simple planter box into a tiny village, a place where magic seems just a heartbeat away. Children love to wander over and greet them, whispering secrets or tucking a fallen flower into their hats. Adults, too, can't help but pause, feeling an unexpected pull toward the charm of these little guardians. They stand not just for decoration, but for a way of seeing the world, where even the smallest space can hold a touch of wonder. When the sun is high, their colors blaze brightly against the green leaves. In the softer light of evening, they blend into the shadows, as if retreating into their own stories until morning comes again. The best part? Anyone can make them. A few recycled bottles, some paint, and a willingness to play are all it takes. And so the garden grows, not just with plants, but with joy, laughter, and the quiet companionship of gnomes who once were nothing more than bottles, now living happily among the blooms. Zen Serenity Bottle Lights. The air is still, holding the gentle fragrance of bamboo and moss. Beneath a soft twilight sky, the garden hums with quiet, until a warm glow begins to emerge. It comes from lanterns made not of paper or glass, but of simple recycled plastic bottles, painted in delicate strokes of black and crimson. A crane spreads its wings across one. A branch of cherry blossoms drapes gracefully over another. They are small, but in this space, they hold the weight of serenity. The gravel beneath your feet has been carefully raked into flowing patterns, echoing waves and rivers. Smooth stepping stones lead you through this tranquil world, each one bathed in the soft light of the bottle lanterns. It's not the harsh glare of bulbs, but the kind of glow that feels like a sigh, gentle, embracing, and entirely at peace. Creating them is as much meditation as it is craft. Each bottle is washed and sanded smooth, then painted with care, the brush moving slowly, deliberately, as if translating a thought into form. The art becomes part of the object, and the object becomes part of the garden. By the time the LED lights are placed inside, it feels less like you've made something, and more like you've uncovered something that was always meant to be. Visitors walk slower here. They whisper, not because they must, but because the space invites quiet. The lanterns do not shout for attention. They simply offer their light, guiding your steps as evening deepens. And when the night finally takes the last of the day's colors, they remain. Small guardians of calm in a restless world, reminding you that even in the simplest of things, peace can be found, and beauty can bloom. Butterfly and bird flight bottle art. The first thing you notice is the movement. It's gentle, like the flutter of a page in the wind or the soft brush of wings in midair. Above the garden, a small dance is taking place. Bright butterflies and cheerful birds gliding between sunlight and shade. They aren't alive in the usual sense, but they carry life within them, born from the patient work of hands and the humble beginnings of recycled plastic bottles. Each butterfly's wings are a story. A deep sapphire blue with speckles of white, like a midnight sky. A bright golden yellow, glowing as if holding the sun. The birds, too, have their own charm. Tiny sparrows with painted brown feathers, or vivid parrots in red and green, their eyes glinting with playful curiosity. Hung from nearly invisible threads, they sway and turn with the breeze, catching the light in ways that make them seem almost real. They hang over a small reading nook, where potted plants rest on shelves and the scent of herbs drifts through the air. When you look up from the pages of your book, you might forget for a moment that these creatures are crafted, not born. The illusion is part of the magic. Making them is simple yet deeply rewarding. Cutting, shaping, and painting each bottle piece becomes an act of transformation, turning what once was waste into something that brings joy. And when the sun dips low, they take on a softer glow, silhouettes dancing against a golden sky. The garden feels lighter with them here. Visitors pause to watch, children reach up to touch, and you? Well, you just sit quietly, grateful that something so small could make the air feel a little more alive. Whimsical cartoon flower house. Step into the garden and you'll see it. A little house that seems to have sprung from the pages of a children's book. Its frame is simple, yet every inch is alive with color. Bottle flowers in shades of red, yellow, and purple bloom across its walls, their petals curved just so, each one bearing a cartoon face that greets you with a smile, a wink, or a playful pout. The air inside is warm and scented with the faint fragrance of the herbs and seedlings growing within. Sunlight filters through the roof, casting soft shadows of the flowers onto the wooden floor. The vines, long strips of green painted plastic, curl gently around the frame, as if nature herself decided to lend a hand to this playful creation. Outside, children giggle as they race around it, pausing to point at their favorite blossom. Some flowers look shy, eyes turned away. Others look bold, grinning wide as if they know a secret. Adults can't help but smile too, drawn in by the pure cheer this little house radiates. It's not just decoration. It's an invitation to imagine. Crafting the whimsical cartoon flower house is as joyful as seeing it complete. Bottles are cut and shaped into petals, caps become flower centers, and each face is painted with its own personality. The process feels less like making art and more like building a tiny community of blooms. On quiet afternoons, the house becomes a reading nook, a spot to sip tea, or a stage for storytelling. And in the evening, as the last light fades, it stands in the garden like a beacon of joy. Proof that with a little creativity, even the simplest materials can blossom into something magical. Farmyard friends, animal bottle planters. The garden feels alive in a way that's different from most. It's not just the flowers swaying in the breeze. It's the cheerful faces watching over them. Along the edge of the path, a happy cow planter holds a spray of daisies. A round pink pig cradles petunias, and a fluffy white sheep shows off a crown of marigolds. A bright yellow chicken planter stands proudly at the corner, its beak pointed toward the sun. Each one began as an empty plastic bottle. With some paint, a pair of scissors, and a bit of imagination, they've become the farmyard friends, guardians of the blooms and bringers of smiles. Their shapes are simple but full of personality. Curved ears, painted snouts, and big friendly eyes that seem to meet yours as you pass. This part of the garden is especially loved by children. They greet the planters by name, check on the flowers growing from their tops, and sometimes even bring them tiny treats of fallen petals. Adults linger too, admiring the mix of humor and beauty. It's hard not to feel a little lighter in their company. Making them is a joy in itself. The cutting and painting are easy enough for children to help with, turning the process into a family craft day. Choosing the flowers for each animal feels like giving them a personality. Bright petunias for the pig, soft daisies for the cow, bold marigolds for the chicken. When the sun is high, the colors pop brilliantly, and in the soft glow of evening, the planters seem to watch over the garden like old friends. They stand as proof that the most delightful decorations don't need to come from a store. Sometimes, all it takes is a little creativity and a willingness to see life in something once thrown away. Playful cartoon cap garden mockers. The garden might be full of vegetables and herbs, but here, it also bursts with personality. Above the rows of mint, basil and tomatoes, cheerful faces peek out. Bright eyes, goofy grins, and even the occasional mischievous wink. These are the playful cartoon cap garden markers, made from nothing more than recycled bottle caps and a splash of creativity. Each marker is mounted on a slim bamboo stick, standing proudly at the head of its plant row. Some are painted as beloved characters, a yellow sponge with a wide smile, a tiny minion with a single goggle, or a round blue fish with a friendly face. Others are original creations, their expressions as unique as the plants they guard. The effect is charming, as if the garden itself has decided to join in on the fun. Children especially love visiting this part of the yard. They race along the rows, calling out each character's name and checking on the plants they protect. Even adults can't help but grin when they see a familiar cartoon watching over a patch of lettuce. Creating them is as simple as it is rewarding. The caps are cleaned, painted with vivid colors, and given their expressions by hand. Once dry, they're fixed onto stakes and placed in the soil. Not only do they bring joy, but they also help keep the garden organized. Each row instantly recognizable by the friendly face above it. On sunny days, the colors shine against the green leaves, and when the wind stirs, the caps tilt slightly, as if nodding in approval at the plant's growth. It's a light-hearted reminder that gardens don't have to be serious. They can be places of laughter, creativity, and a little bit of cartoon magic. Koi Stream Recycled Bottle River. At first glance, you might think there's a river running through the garden. Smooth stones in shades of gray and white wind gracefully like flowing water, and among them swim koi, bright splashes of red, black, and orange that seem to glide effortlessly along the curve. But look closer, and you'll see the magic. These koi are not living fish, but handcrafted treasures born from recycled plastic bottles. Each bottle has been cut, shaped, and painted to mimic the gentle curves of koi bodies. The fins curl slightly as if caught in motion, and the eyes, though painted, seem to hold a quiet, watchful presence. Together, they create the illusion of life, a river alive with movement, without a drop of water. Bamboo sways softly nearby, and ferns curl along the edges of the stone stream. The scene feels serene, like a page from a Japanese garden design book. It invites you to pause, to trace the path of the water with your eyes, and to appreciate the harmony between the crafted and the natural. Creating this koi stream is as rewarding as it is beautiful. The stones can be sourced from local suppliers or collected over time, and the koi require only bottles, paint, and patient hands. Arranging them among the stones is like painting a picture in 3 dimensions. Every placement changes the flow, every detail adds to the illusion. In the stillness of evening, the stones take on a soft glow from the setting sun, and the koi seem almost a shimmer. It's a reminder that beauty doesn't always require living things to feel alive. Sometimes, it's enough to capture the essence, to create a space where imagination can swim as freely as any fish. Cheerful bottle scarecrow guardians. The garden hums with color and life, but its most endearing feature isn't the flowers or the herbs. It's the little guardians watching over them. Standing just tall enough to peek over the blooms, the cheerful bottle scarecrow guardians bring a country charm that makes you feel instantly at home. Each one began as an ordinary plastic bottle. With a coat of paint, they were dressed in bright overalls. Blue for one, green for another. Straw hats rest atop their painted heads, and from their sides stretch arms made of bundled straw, ending in playful tufts that wave in the wind. Their faces are painted with broad smiles and rosy cheeks, as if greeting every visitor who wanders by. They stand planted in pastel-colored wooden drawers turned into planter boxes, bursting with flowers in every shade. Pinks, yellows, purples. The scarecrows don't seem to frighten away much except perhaps the occasional curious bird, but that's not their real purpose. Their true gift is in the joy they spark. Children love to name them and weave stories about their adventures in the garden. Adults find themselves pausing, leaning down for a closer look at the hand-painted details. The garden feels less like a collection of plants and more like a small, friendly village. Creating them is a delight. The painting process is forgiving. The straw hats can be improvised from scraps, and the entire craft can be done in a single sunny afternoon. They weather the outdoors well, standing cheerfully through rain and sun alike. As evening falls, the low light softens their colors, and they almost seem to settle into their posts for the night. By morning, they're back to smiling under the sun. faithful companions to the flowers they watch over, season after season. Hanging garden bottle character wall. It's not just a wall. It's a burst of joy rising from the ground up. Against a wooden fence, rows of hanging bottles sway gently in the breeze. Each one painted with a face that smiles, winks, or laughs. The hanging garden bottle character wall transforms an ordinary vertical space into a living gallery, where plants and personality grow side by side. The bottles hang upside down, cleverly repurposed so that flowers spill downward in playful cascades. Some hold trailing greenery that brushes against the wood. Others burst with bright blossoms in pink, yellow, and violet. Every planter is different. A green frog with wide eyes, a shy rabbit with rosy cheeks, a ladybug peeking out from behind its petals. When the sun is high, the colors blaze vividly against the warm brown of the wood. Bees buzz lazily between the blooms, and children point out their favorite characters, sometimes giving them names. It's more than decor. It's a cheerful corner of the yard that makes people stop, smile, and linger. Creating this wall is surprisingly simple. A few recycled bottles, a drill for drainage holes, paint for the designs, and some sturdy string for hanging. The magic comes in the details. The curve of a painted smile, the tilt of a flower's stem, the mix of colors that make each bottle its own little world. By evening, the wall takes on a softer glow, the faces still visible in the fading light, their flowers catching the last rays of the day. It's the kind of project that turns a dull fence into something worth visiting. A celebration of creativity that keeps growing season after season. And every time you walk past, you can't help but feel the garden is smiling right back at you. Fairy Village Bottle Houses. In the quiet corner of the garden, magic has taken root. Nestled between mossy stones and blooming flowers stands a village. Not for people, but for fairies. Each tiny home began as a plastic bottle, once forgotten, now transformed into a place where imagination lives. Painted walls in pastel shades, miniature wooden doors, and windows that glow softly as evening falls give each house its own story. The roofs are terracotta pots, turned upside down and wrapped with garlands of tiny flowers. Some are crowned with wild moss, others with dainty vines that curl like green lace. A winding pebble path connects the homes, leading visitors, real or imagined, through the little settlement. In the golden hour of daylight, the village feels warm and alive. The petals of nearby blooms brush against painted walls, and the soft hum of bees fills the air. When night comes, hidden LED lights flicker to life, casting a glow that turns the garden into a scene straight from a storybook. Creating these fairy village bottle houses is more than just a craft. It's an act of storytelling. Every detail matters. The shape of a window, the curve of a painted flower, the placement of a stone step. The process invites patience and a willingness to see a world in miniature. Children crouch down to peek inside the tiny doors, convinced they've seen a flicker of movement. Adults can't help but lean closer, drawn into the charm. And as you sit back to admire the village, you realize it's not just the fairies who live here. It's your own sense of wonder, restored and alive. Garden Charm Bottle Ornaments. On a warm afternoon, the garden is alive not just with the hum of bees and the flutter of butterflies, but with the gentle swaying of handmade charms. Hanging from tree branches and the edges of a rustic fence, they catch the sunlight and play with the wind. Bells, butterflies, and cheerful bees, all born from the shells of discarded plastic bottles. The bells are painted with floral patterns, their shapes soft and rounded, swaying just enough to catch the eye. Nearby, bright yellow bees with tiny smiles seem to hover eternally in mid-flight, their wings crafted from translucent bottle pieces that sparkle in the sun. The butterflies boast wings in blues, oranges, and purples, each one a small explosion of color that contrasts beautifully with the green leaves around them. They don't just decorate, they tell a story of transformation. Every ornament was once something forgotten, destined to be thrown away. Now they dance in the breeze, part of a garden that feels brighter, happier, and a little more alive. Making them is as satisfying as watching them move. The cutting and painting are simple, and the shapes can be as playful or as delicate as you like. Each ornament becomes a little piece of yourself hanging in the garden. A reminder that creativity can bloom anywhere. In the quiet of the evening, the charms grow still, their colors softening in the fading light. By morning, they'll be dancing again, ready to greet the day with the same joy they brought yesterday. They are proof that beauty isn't just about what you grow. It's also about what you choose to create, and the life you breathe into even the smallest things. Graffiti emoji bottle planters. Some gardens whisper. This one shouts, in color, in attitude, and in pure personality. Against a wooden wall, rows of bottles hang like an art gallery of street culture. Each planter is an explosion of graffiti-inspired color. Electric pinks, acid greens, and deep blues, layered with swirling lines and bold splashes. In the center of each, a face, emoji style. Grins, winks, or sticks out its tongue, daring you not to smile back. Inside, the bottles cradle bursts of life. Trailing ivy, clusters of marigolds, soft mounds of basil. The mix of urban grit and garden green is unexpected, yet it works perfectly. Like nature and art decided they'd look better together. It's the kind of installation that makes people stop. Neighbors lean over the fence to see it up close, their eyes darting from plant to plant, from paint stroke to paint stroke. Teenagers love it, too, drawn by the street art vibe that feels alive and unapologetic. Creating these planters is as liberating as it looks. The bottles become your canvas, cut for planting space, sprayed with a base coat, then layered with graffiti-style bursts of color. The emojis are the final touch, each one a little character watching over its green crown. By day, the wall is vibrant and electric, buzzing with energy. By night, under a string of warm lights, the colors seem to glow, the emoji faces even more expressive in the shadows. It's not just a vertical garden. It's a statement piece. This is where urban creativity meets sustainability. A reminder that even the rough edges of city life can bloom. And perhaps the biggest surprise? How something as small as a recycled bottle can make your backyard feel like the most colorful corner of the street. Lantern Path Woodland Animal Bottles. As dusk settles over the garden, a warm glow begins to appear, not from store-bought lights, but from something far more personal. Hanging above the flower beds are lanterns made from recycled plastic bottles, each one painted with a woodland friend. A curious fox, a wise owl, a cheerful squirrel. Their expressions seem alive in the flickering light, as if they're keeping watch over the path. The lanterns sway gently in the evening breeze, their painted details illuminated from within. Around them, the blooms catch the soft golden light, their colors deepening as the day fades. The effect is both whimsical and inviting, like stepping into a gentle forest storybook. Creating them is as joyful as the scene they create. Each bottle becomes a canvas, its surface transformed by brushstrokes into a tiny piece of forest magic. The animals are painted in rich, earthy tones, rust orange for foxes, warm browns for squirrels, speckled whites and grays for owls. Once painted, the bottles are fitted with small LED lights, glowing just enough to bring the animals to life without overwhelming the night. Walking along the lantern-lit path feels like wandering into a hidden woodland. The air smells faintly of the flowers below. The only sounds are the soft hum of evening insects and the quiet creak of the lanterns swaying on their strings. Visitors pause to admire them, smiling as they spot each animal in turn. And perhaps that's the greatest charm of these lanterns. They're not just decorations, they're companions. Little guardians of the night, crafted from what was once waste, now shining in warmth and personality. In their light, the garden doesn't just look beautiful. It feels alive, as if the woodland creatures have truly come to stay. Mandala Smile Bottle Wind Chimes. The sound comes first, a gentle clink, the soft flutter of ribbons catching the wind. Then the colors reveal themselves, swaying above the garden in a slow, mesmerizing dance. These are the Mandala Smile Bottle Wind Chimes, a joyful marriage of movement, sound, and color, all crafted from recycled plastic bottles. Each chime tells its own story. Some are painted with intricate mandalas in radiant blues and oranges, patterns so detailed you could get lost in them. Others wear big, friendly smiles, faces that seem to laugh along with the breeze. Ribbons trail from their bases, catching the light and spinning in soft arcs. When the wind stirs, the chimes sway and tap gently against each other, producing a delicate music. Less a song, more a whisper between the garden and the air. The effect is both calming and uplifting, a constant reminder that beauty can be playful as well as peaceful. Creating them is as meditative as it is creative. Each bottle is cut and shaped, then painted slowly, layer by layer. The mandalas grow with each stroke, spiraling outward like tiny universes. Adding the smiling faces is the final touch, a burst of personality that makes the chimes feel alive. They hang above a seating area where the afternoon sun filters through leaves, dappling the table below. Guests pause mid-conversation to look up, to listen. Children try to make the chimes sing louder with a gentle push, laughing when the faces seem to dance in response. By evening, the colors mellow into softer shades, the music still drifting in the cooler air. And as night falls, you realize these wind chimes are more than decor. They're companions to the wind, carrying joy and calm in every note they play. Marine-themed bottle garden. The garden feels like it's been touched by the sea. There's no water here, yet the space shimmers with marine life. Jellyfish float in the breeze, tropical fish swim between the leaves, and coral blooms in a riot of colors among the flower beds. All of it, every tentacle and fin, is crafted from recycled plastic bottles. The jellyfish sway gently, their translucent bodies painted in shades of turquoise and lilac, ribbons trailing below like underwater currents brought to air. The fish are small and bright, with scales painted in orange, blue, and yellow, each one shaped to catch the sunlight and flicker as if alive. Coral-like sculptures stand proudly at the base, their twisting forms painted in bold reds and pinks. Walking through this garden feels like stepping into a dream where ocean and earth coexist. The air carries the scent of flowers instead of salt, but the colors and movement evoke the same sense of wonder as snorkeling in a coral reef. Children dart between the displays, pointing excitedly at each creature, while adults linger to take in the intricate details. The making of it is a journey in itself. Cutting bottles into curling tentacles, shaping fins, and building coral branches out of plastic strips becomes a kind of sculptural play. Every piece finds its place in the ecosystem of the garden, telling a silent story of transformation. Trash turned into treasure, land turned into sea. As the sun dips lower, the marine life glows softly under hidden lights, casting a magical blue hue over the garden. It's a reminder that you don't need to travel far to find beauty. Sometimes, you can bring the ocean home, one recycled bottle at a time. Bottle Succulent Wall Garden. Against the backdrop of a warm wooden wall, rows of green and pink life spill from simple shapes. This is the Bottle Succulent Wall Garden, where recycled plastic bottles become tiny cradles for hardy plants, turning an ordinary vertical space into a living mosaic. The bottles are cut horizontally, their openings wide enough to hold soil yet compact enough to keep the arrangement tidy. Inside, succulents nestle in, aloe with its spiky calm, echeveria with its rosette perfection, and trailing string of pearls cascading like green jewelry. Some bottles hold miniature cacti, their tiny spines catching the afternoon light. The arrangement is deliberate but natural, the varied shapes and colors of the plants giving each bottle its own identity. Earthy paint colors, soft terracotta, sage green, sandy beige, wrap the bottles, allowing the vibrant greens and occasional bursts of red or purple to take center stage. The wooden frame behind them warms the whole display, making it feel like a curated piece of nature's art. The joy of this garden is in its ease. Succulents need little water, and the bottles make for perfect microhabitats, keeping just enough moisture for the roots. It's a project that can be completed in an afternoon, but one that rewards you with beauty all year long. Standing before it, you can't help but run your fingers over the textured leaves, marveling at how something so small can feel so complete. The wall becomes a conversation piece. Guests ask how it's made, surprised to learn that every planter once carried soda or water. And in the quiet moments, it's more than decoration. It's a gentle reminder that life can flourish anywhere, even in the simplest of vessels, and that what we once discarded can become a sanctuary for something new. Bottle birdhouse and feeder decor. In the early morning, before the sun climbs too high, the garden is alive with fluttering wings and soft chirps. Hanging from tree branches and nestled along the fence are bottle birdhouses and feeders, each one a sanctuary made from what was once waste. Painted in bright blues, yellows, and greens, they bring splashes of color to the garden even before the birds arrive. The birdhouses have small, round entrances just big enough for a sparrow or finch to slip through. Some are decorated with delicate floral patterns, others with playful nature scenes, branches, leaves, or even tiny painted birds. The feeders hang close by, clear enough to show their bounty of seeds, inviting every feathered visitor to stop and snack. It's a joy to watch. A pair of finches dart in and out of a turquoise birdhouse, carrying bits of moss for their nest. A curious sparrow hops along the feeder's edge, pecking at sunflower seeds before flitting away. The air is filled with the soft hum of life, a rhythm that feels timeless. Making them is as satisfying as watching them in use. Bottles are cut and shaped, painted with care, then fitted with small perches and hung securely in shaded spots. The result is a blend of function and beauty, a safe place for birds, and a work of art for the garden. By midday, the garden feels like a shared space, a place where people, plants, and birds coexist. And in the quiet evenings, when the feeders are still and the birdhouses rest in the fading light, you can almost hear the echo of the morning song. These bottle creations aren't just decor. They're homes, they're lifelines, and they're proof that even the smallest gesture can bring more life into the world.